there'll be a revenue share between us and the Chand or Navneet and us, right? So we want to get to that level where we can actually have this marketplace.
And curate the content.
We don't want to. Ideally, we don't want to. The content will get. So then the children will not subscribe to it.
No, but how would they know? I mean, like they would join this with a certain, certain amount of certain reputation. And so somebody else comes in and puts it in, and then it's.
So think about Flipkart. If I go and sell that is very substandard, sub-quality, maybe 10 people will buy it, 50 people will buy it, but soon people will start leaving comments and reviews saying, "अरे ये phone एकदम खराब है यार मत खरीदो." कोई अपने दोस्त को नहीं बोलेगा कि जाकर खरीदो, right? Because this is much more where somebody says, "Oh my God, did you see that singing in this 3D models? They're absolutely brilliant. You're not subscribed to it, man, you should." Right? So that kid will go and say, "Okay, check that box off and pay that whatever 50 rupees, 100 rupees a month extra to get that." And so what we want to do is that have a marketplace that's self-correcting, self-regulating. And you want to also make the consumer empowered to a level where the consumer feels that they are in control. ILFS should not be in control of anything. ILFS should be an enabling system where you put up the thing and then let the children decide. The parents of the child, the parent is going to pay for the child, the mom or dad put in your credit card number. And soon they'll say, "एक महीने का किया एकदम बकवास है, नहीं करना है, इसको निकाल दो." So the market will self-regulate itself, right? So ultimately that is our goal to get to that level. So to that level, we said let's start with what we have. And let's start with a few freebies that we can give. So NCRT is free. We cannot charge for NCRT. Khan Academy is free. We cannot charge. For our simulators, 3D models, we can charge. For experiments, we can charge. So have like a free area and a premium area. And start this marketplace up. Get enough people to be interested to subscribe to this, so it kind of catches on. With respect to that, we are also talking to a company called Leo Burnett. I'm sure you guys have heard that name before. Yeah. They are the largest marketing advertising company in the world. They do Ford, Unilever, massive. So next Friday, the Chief Strategy Officer of Leo Burnett is coming down to meet with us and understand and make a proposal of how to take this and how to advertise and market it. Because historically in our company, we've never done anything else. We've always gone to some government tender, oh, the government hai, jaakar bid karo, close bid hai, open bid hai, win the tender and then do something to it. Right? We've never actually gone and said, how do I make this thing interesting so right? If you all saw the IPL, you'd have seen the Baiju, the guy moving the triangle, it's absolutely terrible video of how to teach Pythagoras' theorem. But that is the only thing that kids remember. That's the only thing I remember of that. I remember Baiju, and I remember that guy moving those triangles around. So we need somebody to come in and give us that perspective of how to market and sell this product. Because I don't think we internally have the capability because we've never done something else. So I think it's good to ask for help, or at least see what they're probably going to charge an arm and leg, and our team is going to say no. That's beside the point. But then at least we should go through the exercise of seeing what they do. So we take these different contents. We have a
question. Why don't you have science videos listed in that?
Yeah.
You've got experiments, Khan Academy, cake class.
There was a lack of space, but I can put in some.
Yeah, I put that.
Yes. I would just say there was a logic to
no. It was just, this is just a representative sample of content.
But everything else is there except
science video.
Just make a note. Just remind me to put science videos ka logo hai mere paas usko lagane ka isme. Okay. And then you've got the whole assessment. Yeah. So the whole AOL link you that system has been integrated with this platform to provide the MCQs, to provide a facility where the students can measure their, their learning ability or how much they learn from that by taking these questions and seeing how well they perform. All this is all taken into an app. And then it kind of, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to put it across not only operating systems, but across devices also. So you have a tablet, you got phones, and you've got like a desktop, PC, laptop environment. So we want to kind of cater to all the environments, all the operating systems, not just one. We started with Windows very specifically because the overwhelming factor that Kasi made me and Harish made me realize is that इसमें experiments होने का, and experiments right now does not run on anything but Windows. Even experiments.com, if you go to the website, you cannot view it through your phone if it's an Android phone. You cannot view it through your Apple device. You need a Windows device. Mr. Girish Patrapur is in this huge process of converting everything to JavaScript. So as and when they get converted to JavaScript, he will replace experiments.com. But right now from experiments.com, we're pulling the experiments. So it made more sense for us to start with Windows. It made more sense for us to start with 10 standard because we don't do 11th and 12th. I would ideally like to start with 12th standard because that's where the money is. 12th and kindergarten is where the parents spend. Board exam hai, bachcha ko college bhejna hai. How much of the money? Okay, 5,000, 6,000, no worries. And also kindergarten, new parents do not know what they have to do with their kids, so they spend money. Because most of them have no clue what they're doing. Spend all the money you can. So the younger and the eldest are the money segments. I'm looking purely from an ROI model also because ultimately हमको पैसे बनाने का है. We are a for-profit company, we're not a NGO. So 10 standard was the logical thing because that's how far we go. And so I want something that is applicable across the students, teachers, and parents as well. Some of these we'll go through the software, so I don't have to go through this flow because I'll kind of literally take you through all these screens. That I want to kind of go into, we can have this model applicable in multiple scenarios. So one, sell it to the kids. Okay, great. But what happens if we are selling K-Class right now with Kian? Why can't we sell K-Class Plus with the Kian? I can have the, instead of it being on a cloud, I can have the Kian serve all the, if it's got a 1 terabyte hard drive, I can have the Kian serve all the information. And
initially you can give some a month, say 5 IDs or whatever, 5 users, 1 month of free subscription, something like that. ICTs and every there, then it will be used.
Absolutely. Also, another thing could be, if we are doing a new sale, why not sell K-Class Plus? Because it has the CBSE textbook in it, it has experiments in it, it has Khan Academy in it, it has science videos in it, and it has K-Class Plus, K-Class in it, and it has assessments in it. Why can't I sell all of this as a bundle? I'll leave the costing to the people who are worried about the bean counters in the company, right? I'm not worried about the costing that much. I just need to know that there's a strategy to go. So we can have the teacher teach. Now the teacher does not need a textbook. And what I'll show is that the teacher can just send his or her notes to all the students. They can send MCQs to all the students in the class. They can look at the grade that the student has got on those MCQs. So there's a whole thing that there's an added advantage to having this on the Kian inside the classroom. Now assume that this is inside the classroom and the kid goes home, they log on, they see the same thing. So there's a continuation of that same screen, the same way of teaching, the same way of learning that goes from the classroom into their house. So that continuation will help the student kind of remember. Because the more immersive that environment, everywhere that student sees the same design, the same way of learning, there's a greater chance that the student will remember that information. So from a psychology perspective, it is good to have that immersive environment. The other advantage is that they are trying to go this whole Google Classroom. You guys would have heard there's a whole push to integrate Google Classroom and have Chromebooks with every kid. Okay, great. So you have a Chromebook, you make your notes in that. Nothing is on this laptop. Everything is stored in the cloud. You go home, all your notes are still there. All the work in class is still there, but then your teacher has sent you an assignment. That's also there. The teacher said, the teacher has highlighted certain portions of the text, saying, hey, this formula is important, make sure you read this, make sure you mark it up or whatever. So now you've got the teacher's notes, the teacher's questions, your notes, and you've got this whole smorgasbord of information that you can make use of. So the idea is to provide this very rich environment, which is a one-stop solution for child. I know that it sounds very cliche to say something like a one-stop solution, but ideally you want that child not to kind of have 6 different sources of information, but have those 6 different sources of information be in one delivery mechanism. So there's an in classroom, there's an outside classroom. So the teacher now, you can customize it. इसको DPS का skill चलवा देंगे K++ में, and then we DPS kids can use that. DPS teachers can send things only to the DPS students, and we customize for school. So we can kind of now start do a little bit more upscale markets. These very doing to a little bit more. Alright, so enough of PowerPoint. Come on, mouse. We'll start with the student edition, and then I'll kind of fire up the mentor edition. Let me make sure I'm connected.
No internet.
Yeah, it's good. We'll give you guys access to the software, and we'll create logins and passwords for you guys. You will need internet access, because right now the entire system is cloud-based. Office kind of internet sucks, so we have to kind of deal with it, because the way we've developed the video is that you'll see it should work with a 2.5G connection. So technically it will take a little longer, but then it will still work. No internet.
So if you load this on the KAN and give it again, they will need internet access, right?
Yeah.
The KAN version that we have will be, the KAN will be the cloud, so it will do local store. We have not.
What about the textbook and things?
Yeah.
We store everything locally.
Are you allowed to do that when you store it?
Yes. So right now the reason why we're not doing it is that, let me just make sure I'm connected. The reason why we're not doing that is we first want to do the B2C segment. We want to go to the consumer, we want to go to the child directly. Yeah. This is not being developed to help ESG sell more KRs or sell more K classes. That just happens to be one of the spin-offs of this, so that they can also use it. But my development resources are sitting right there. If I had like a team of 20 people, I would have said, sure, let's do everything at one shot. I have to with the resources that I have. I do not have the luxury of doing everything at first shot. So I'd rather focus on the consumer first and then get back into the schools. Laptop is acting flaky. Probably a reboot is simple. Yeah, change. So let me just quickly go through the mentor, because you guys will be most interested in that, because we want to hire some people as the mentors for math and science. We will be paying a very meager remuneration. I've kind of talked to our team about it, and he's kind of going back and forth on how much, but about $6,000 to $8,000 a month for just the test period, where we'll be testing this out. ironing out all the bugs. There is Bugzilla. I'm not sure you guys attended Pyle's presentation on Bugzilla, but we have a whole system in place that you can record and log in your bugs. Till you guys have access, that we provide you an Excel template where you can say, hey, when I click this, this, and that, the system crashes. We've just not clicked that, that, and that in that sequence, so we do not know. So that's the whole point of testing this out. And we're also going to give it to students. We've got so lined up right now. RCM has asked all the ESG zonal heads to give me like a dozen kids each. So Monday, I guess I'll go find out in Delhi what the yes, network. That is a good sign to see. So we're going to have a limited number of students, but ideally what we want to do is that do a launch of this product, a sellable version by October 2nd. So at least that's what's in RCM's head. The product is ready, as I will show you once my laptop hopefully will allow me to show you. So from the mentor's perspective, there are a couple of things. When a student asks a question, all questions will come in a tile format. The tile is like, I don't know whether you've seen air traffic controllers, or whether you've seen any movie with air traffic controllers. For every aircraft that they are in charge of, there's a little tile, and they'll stack up those tiles, and they'll prioritize based on those tiles. So every question that comes into the mentor is like a tile. The tile will have information of who the student is, what chapter, what subtopic they were at when they asked the question, what is their query, and when you click on that tile, it will give you a screenshot of what the software or what the student was seeing when they had this query. Because the student can have this question and the mentor might be in Mizoram and he might say, dude, I have no question why you, I have no idea why you asked me that question. So you have to give them a little bit of context. So we will start with the student edition, and hopefully this time around it will allow me to log in. The name, again, these guys who you were it was saying, why are you saying K class plus? Don't you want to rename it something completely different? I don't know, you guys are the experts here. You have to let me know whether K class plus as a name does not sound good, sounds good, or what.
It's related to the database. When call it database, what, how do you relate it to K class?
They don't want to have it. Why do they want to have it as an open marketplace?
Hopefully this time it will let me know. Okay, it looks a little stretched out, but that's how it will look normally. I don't know why the Kian is stretching out like way across the screen.
Okay, big screen.
So, but anyways, kind of just compress it in your mind's eye a little bit. Yeah, this is what it looks like on my laptop. So this is basically a landing page where this is mostly a one-time kind of thing where the student sets up what preferences they have. They will not be going to this page very often, except when they want to kind of change their preferences. Yeah. And that's why you have a remember by settings here in the bottom. So you don't, it will skip this page. Once you check that, it will skip this page and go right to the software. Right now we have CBSE board, but everybody say, "Ha, Maharashtra board bhi karna hai, Andhra ka bhi board karna hai, sabka karna hai." I'm also kind of looking at it like, I don't want to overload the SMEs with work.
Thank you.
Because you have to map everything again for every textbook that they bring.
Not just mapping, you don't know if to train them. You just clean CBSE, you have to clean your Andhra, your Tamil Nadu, your ICS, everything has to be clean.
So I said, like, look, let's start with CBSE. थोड़ा revenue दिखाएंगे, तो थोड़ा we get another 4 people
Get another,
to help you guys.
yes.
Like go and ask RCM, like, give me another 4 people. He'll say, you know what he'll say. So
first make money on this.
yes, show that has the ability to attract the students' attention, and then we get the resources. So right now, like I said, we are in standard 10, and then we can go all the way to whatever class we want. It's in English medium right now. What we've done is that we've got math and science. We've got both the subjects, so you can select math or you can select science. Right now, we have text, K-class, the videos, the science videos, experiments, assessments, and other people's content is now just classified as others.
Okay.
So you have the ability to select and deselect these. But basically, if you deselect text, you're just going to get nothing with K-class. Right? Because then if you deselect everything and just keep K-class in the science video, it's going to look like what's there in the K right now. So idea is to kind of get the students to select as many of these, because then we can charge them accordingly.
Oh, but if they don't want, they can take it out.
Students, prerogative. They get NCRT for free, Khan Academy for free. We cannot charge them for that.
But other things are going
But if that's all they want to use the app for, that's their thing. But we're hoping that, like Flipkart, now you will not just buy one. Once you buy one, वो delivery आ जाता है 24 hours में आ गया. The porcelain bowl was not broken. Then I'll say, I want to buy a glass teapot. I want to buy this. So we're hoping that it's a kind of mentality where the kid will say, ये भी चाहिए, मेरे को ये भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए. So, and if the parents can afford it, and the parents see like a reason to buy this for their kid, why not? For lack of a better thing, this is the science textbook cover. We don't have any other cover because NCRT ka jo CBSE ka cover
No, this is a cover.
The Maharashtra board and all that looks nice. It has like some rocket ship and the molecules.
It's a collage. Yeah.
So, but then this is what we have. So this, sorry. Please don't be asking. So I'll kind of come into all this, but let's assume that we go to with effects of electric current. So depending upon the kind of network you have, it will take time to load this page. It will take time to load. If you have a fast network connection, it will load quickly. If the gods of TSDG are happy and they give you a good connection, it will load faster. Or from your house, it will load faster. So
you see it like this, you don't see the whole page together, or you have to scroll
through the page. So you can scroll through the page because the page is rather, the idea was to make it readable. Okay.
But I think you need.
So we don't allow in the PC version, we don't allow zooming in, but on the phone version we allow zooming in because the text is really small in the phone. We found that if you take a page and fit it in, you can't read the PDF.
No.
Okay. This is something that the child has to, underline. Like you would do, like you make your notes in class. You can underline. Okay. You can also go and highlight. And you have an eraser, and you can erase the highlights and things. You can also go and make notes. If you select the note icon and double click anywhere on the page, it will create a note with the date and timestamp.
And how do you write on that? This type. Okay.
And you can drag this note and decide that I want the note to be here, because that's what the note is about. It's about that figure. Right? You can delete the note. And all this is getting stored on the cloud. So no matter where you log in from, as long as you use your login password, your notes, your underlines, all your stuff will pop back, right back on.
So, supposing you put the note near the diagram for the time being, okay, and you've closed your, done for the day and gone. Next time when you open with your login and password, will it be back here or do you have to search?
It will be right back here. You can also go to all your notes and search through them.
In the cloud.
I will also get into the whole mentor aspect, because the mentor can send their notes to you.
Now, would it be like the mentor also puts the notes here on the textbook itself?
Yes.
Now, if you see one click and it was deleted, right? So, supposing the
mentors' notes cannot be deleted, cannot be edited, and they are a red color. I'll show you that when we get to the mentors thing, because the mentor, you should not be able to type something inappropriate and say, "Ma, the mentor is like saying this to me," because no. Because the mentors, if the mentor has said something, we have a log of it, so we track everything in the database. But the child should not be able to edit the mentor. They can move the note around on the page. They cannot move it to a different chapter, because the mentor has said, no, this note is for that particular subsection of that thing. Right? Similarly, the mentor can make their own MCQs and send it to the student.
In their notes.
I'll show you the whole thing. We'll go through the entire thing, right? Because you'll have a thing where the student asks a question, mentor says, blah, 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 and the student says, but how about this? Then the mentor finally says, "Tia, samajh mein aayi? Samajh mein aayi to Tia, answer these 3 questions for me."
Okay.
We give the mentor the freedom to do that. The MCQs cannot be, once the student answers it, that gets logged and the student cannot change their answer, because it's an MCQ. You do it 3 times, you know the right answer, right? The whole thing is to judge whether the student is understood or not. So what students does on the mentor's MCQ gets recorded, and that cannot get changed, that cannot get deleted. You can move it around. Some kids might want to say, on the top of their note of their chapter, they'll have all their notes stacked up like this. You can have as many notes as you want. There's no limit to the size, to the content, and to the amount of notes. Underlines, whatever you want.
But to know, now supposing we stacked it up there, to know which is which, he has to open all, right?
Yeah, just click on it. Click on it, it will pop open. And if you have some junk that you've typed in, it's there.
Are they having a title thing for
the
tooltip or something?
Yesterday when we were demoing to the academic group, they said we want a title for each note.
There is like this kind of notes that we have. They're all simple sticky notes, which have a title to it. So when you minimize it, you can still read the title. So that you don't have to open each.
What I'll do is that I'll do a mouse over event. So when you take your mouse over, it will show you a little thing of the title. Yeah.
Because otherwise, if I have like 20 notes, I don't need to
open everyone to see which one.
Otherwise, I'll forget what I was studying.
Absolutely. And the same point was brought up yesterday when we were demoing upstairs. Same kind of note mein title chahiye. They have noted it down. Right now we're doing only yellow for kid, red pink or red for mentor. So there's a distinction between mera notes kya hai, mentor ka notes kya hai.
He can also put the mentor's notes along with his own notes.
Wherever they want, they can do it, but they cannot delete it. Yeah? And so when we go through this text, you will see that here, wherever relevant, the K-class videos will pop up. The K-class videos have the K-class symbol on the video. That little, the aeroplane.
Yeah, aeroplane, yeah.
Is that EG's laptop or what?
Yeah,
it's the
ring. Sorry. For a second there was like, oh, something's going on here. Okay, where there are science videos, you'll see the science video emblem.
Oh, that is one.
This is the science video emblem. That is the K-class emblem. And where you have
Experiments.
There'll be a Khan Academy that looks like that little tree. So where there's a Khan Academy video, the video will have a little logo right here. So this kind of is like a copyright that hamara nahi hai, kisi aur ka hai, right? Because we have to give them that.
And how the sequencing is done, na? Like K-class you can see first and then.
Yeah. First is K class, all our videos, and then you put others, or you put us right at the bottom.
It's done the way the Excel spreadsheet was entered in the database. That is the way it's being done.
If there is some error, it says construction of a triangle, while it is about a magnetic field.
Yes. Here we see how magnetic
Text is wrong here.
The heading is wrong.
I think even the previous page there was some error like that. Previous pages before.
No, this one magnetic field is taken.
No, the next one. See, probability.
Probability is not.
Probability is
I think all the headings are wrong.
Mixed up math and science.
No, I don't. The content is this is correct. Video shows how probability. The headings are wrong, but the content.
This is why we need you guys to test it out for us.
That is
Because they are the developers. They look here, video call, ये आ गया, thumbnail आ गया, कुछ description दे, पढ़ेंगे नहीं.
Select text, videos and all. But see, I'm the first time using this. Okay.
So by default, everything is on.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the students who they don't know what is there exactly. Okay. So how they selected on what basis they selected.
So basically, what we do is that we give it to them free for a week. So for 1 week or RCM once 3 months, I'm trying to make that as little time as possible when we give them free. So they get access to all the content, absolutely free, and then they can select various things and see how much it's going to cost.
You get 2 windows to log in and sign up.
Yeah.
At the start. So why don't we give the third one? Guest user.
Guest
As a guest user, yeah. So in the guest user, you can put the sum of the data, so they'll get the idea. Yeah, what we are giving, not
So
all the
complete
data.
content you can
So
subscribe.
they will get the idea.
Look inside pages.
We have videos, so they can select the videos when they log in.
That's what I'm saying. Look inside pages.
So basically, what I want to do is that give them the entire thing for free. Because if I do a guest user, then I'm not capturing vital information. In the sign up, I need the name of the kid, which standard they are, their email address, their phone number, because then I can start sending them K class plus every month. There's a newsletter. These are new improvements to the software. By the way, your school is now with the Kian. So we can you have to realize that we are a for-profit company. So if I can capture the child's information, that information can be utilized by us in a constructive way to not bombard that kid with, buy black colored hair dye for 50% off, but then kind of things that, okay, now in the latest version, go upgrade your software, you can get this now. There are these new models, this is whole augmented reality. These are the new games that have been pushed. So we can so I don't want to have a guest user. I'd rather have the child put in the information, log in, and give them all the content for free for 3 weeks or 1 month. And then say after the 3 weeks or 1 month, it is now chargeable. And in that 3 weeks, let them explore, understand what they want to see. By the way, when you click on a video, the video comes up in its own player. Yeah. But then also what we do is that we give the ability for the student to give me a quality.
PQ is a thin insulated copper bar.
They can choose the quality of video and they can choose the quality of audio, and they can also give me a relevance, whether this is relevant
To the content or not.
So they can rate it with a thumbs up or a thumbs down kind of thing. Right. All this again gets tracked and stored in the database. So during the test phase, if you find everybody hates YouTube video because it's buffering all the time, they prefer Control S, which is another provider for our. We've kind of taken the video and put it into silos, and we're trying testing out 2 different providers and 1 free thing. So YouTube is free, but we're using Control S and Sakura Sky as well. The videos, the kid will not know it's coming, what's coming from where. They consistently rank YouTube as, hey, when I come home from school, everybody's watching movies on YouTube, so it's really slow. I don't get it. I'd rather prefer this. Then you have to look at the cost of what Sakura or Controller is going to charge us for hosting it on their cloud, and look at the benefits of moving our entire content there.
Yeah.
But for right now, our entire content is on YouTube. All the K classes on YouTube. All the science videos on YouTube. 10 I'm talking only 10 math and science. Yeah. It's all on YouTube, but then we've also given Sakura and Controllers a whole silo of things, and we're kind of going between the three. So this will, and then of course you can go full screen on this. You can rate the video. Right now we don't have the ability to make notes on the video. But someday I don't see why we can't have that. It just takes a lot of effort. But suppose the kid wants to pause the video and make a little post with a yellow note on the video there. They should be able to. And that yellow note should come up when you play that video at that particular point in time. A teacher might want to say, hey, in this 15-minute video, these 3 minutes starting here is very important. Pay attention to what the woman is saying, what that guy is saying.
Teacher will say when the mentor and write and make a note there.
So ultimately, I would like to have that feature here.
The note can be then pasted on the video.
On the video, without touching the video, just like we're not touching the NCRT text. We're just doing overlays. So it's basically 100% transparent film that they're pasting on top of NCRT text, and on that film, the kids are writing that. So we're storing that film as that kid's film, which gets pasted on that page when they go back to that page. Yeah, so from a
is this following this video quality and all that going to be there throughout, or only during the test?
The video quality will be there throughout. Right now, what we're doing is that we're doing something called adaptive bitrate. So it will ping your machine, and it will look at the internet connection speed that you've got, and automatically down convert the video, because everything is on HD, 1080p. That's what we guys got from you guys. On all the videos, all on high def. So, but then high def will not be, you will not be able to stream high def your devices. Somebody sitting in Jabalpur with a 2.5G connection. So when this thing's video, it will automatically, the server will hit your machine, find out your internet speed, and automatically downgrade the video so that it plays at least on your device.
Okay.
Otherwise, the kid will be sitting there for half an hour watching one video. And वो बोला हाँ आधा घंटा मैंने पढ़ाई कर लिया खेलने चला जाएगा. The kid does not. The kid is going to try to find every which way, not using this and going to play or whatever. We have to kind of find every which way, making the kid more interested in this. So similarly, when we have 3D models that are here, we get interactive models. This is a non-interactive version. But if you saw Raman's last demo of where you can click on things and there's a voiceover and all that, we'll have that integrated into this.
The assessments, whichever the child will be taking, the answers or whatever given, we have seen that he cannot change the answers.
No. Not in assessments, you can.
The assessment, everything?
In the assessments, you can take the test over and over again.
Okay.
But when the mentor asks you a question, you get to answer it once, and then that answer goes back to the mentor.
That's supposing, and the mentor reverts back or whatever, whether you
will know the correct. It will also give you the correct answer. I will show you. We'll go through the entire process.
Why I was asking is if it is coming in an email or something, maybe there could be a trigger that whenever answers are given and the mentor is replying to the student, a mail could be triggered to the parent also. So like when
there's a parent app, we will give the parent an app. On that app, they'll be able to see everything
directly. Every assessment of everything is
everything. Right? The parent ultimately wants to, in a non-intrusive way, be very intrusive with their kids. That's what parents want to do. Right? But then they want to do it in a very non-intrusive way, but they want to be like right there. So we give them the ability to be right there and see without physically being there. right? Because you are fair. And, so these are our standard 3D models that we have. You guys have been through this in we have about a dozen 3D models right now available. Assessments, right? So Chris is going to run through these and then just randomly select. So in some cases, you can see that this degree sign has not come.
Yeah, it's going very big.
Yeah, so and also it should be superscript and small. And it's not. So it could be 2700, it could be 270.0. It's really not. So this is a problem again that we're having with AOL. And we're hoping that you guys can catch such problems and then let us know where they occur. Also, if we are picking up some wrong questions, if AOL is supplying us some wrong questions or in the database that we entered in incorrectly, this is what we like you guys when you guys are testing out the software to kind of keep an eye on the content, because you guys are the SMEs. You will know whether that content actually belongs there or not.
You want us to check all the assessments?
Not everything, but as you're going through, yes. If you see something like you saw probability somewhere, there'll be a little Excel template where you can say the problem, importance of correction, high, medium, low, where did you see it, exactly how it was encountered. You can fill up that Excel spreadsheet and send it to us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then you can hit a submit. And once you do the submission, okay, I've got 3, and then I can do a view solution. Huh?
Congratulations.
Completing also.
Spell check.
Has to QA this whole thing or what will this mark as review?
So you can go and mark certain questions. Suppose you have 100 questions, you might not want to spend that much of time because you've got a clock that's ticking down. You might want to just say, I'll come back to this question later. So you can mark as review and then you put an orange apparent. So you'll be able to very quickly in your this thing in your line of questions, you will see how many 18 questions have been attended. I have to go back or I'm not sure about the.
With the who mark, there's a student.
Laws student. And the AOL kind of does the grading. You can look at the solutions, where if you've got it correct, it says great. If you've got it incorrect, that was my incorrect answer. This is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can go through my. So that is basically the test aspect of this. So we've done experiments in electricity. There are like a whole bunch of these experiments. $35 of them. Oh, brilliant. So when you have experiments, it will tell you how many experiments there are. So if you see above here, you will see a number that's displayed. On my laptop, it's much sharper and clearer. So you can see that there are 2 videos here. There are 35 experiments. So when you click on an experiment, it will pull up the experiment in a window. You can scroll through the whole experiment.
Is it going to be scrolled like this? We need to see the whole.
This is what it's what Mr. Gage.
Experiments.com, you can see the whole picture, and it's not. You don't have to scroll it like that.
Yeah, that's because it is. We have to cater to a whole bunch of screen resolutions. So I must have this thing run on this, and I must have it run on this too. There's no way.
They understand what they have to do with this. Like
so they'll read through the instructions, and the instructions.
yeah, you need to see the whole thing.
We can give you a maximized window if you want here.
That would be something that you can see the whole diagram, because you can read the instruction together, but if you even have to see the diagram up and down, you would never understand what to do.
And however you want to run the experiments, I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but then yeah, you can go and build your experiment and run it. We'll give them a maximize on this one. Okay. And then so whatever, this is all coming from experiments.com.
But see, the thing is, in experiments, even if you see the whole thing, it's very difficult to understand what to do. So if you show it like piecemeal like that,
not like that, but then the student can maximize the window. Just like the video, it starts up in a window, the student has the ability to hit maximize, and then it will go to their full screen.
In full screen, will have the whole experiment.
That depends upon the size of your screen.
Okay.
Because then if I give you the entire experiment on this size, the kid will not be able to drag and drop or do anything. He will not be able to read any instructions. So,
computer view and a mobile.
Yeah, you have that.
but again, the computer, somebody will have a 1024 by 768, crappy display like mine, or you'll have a 1920 by 1080 display. So I have to cater to those resolutions. Mac will have its own thing, Android will have its own thing. So I cannot make 5,000 versions of the same screen. I would rather have the ability for it to maximize on whatever screen the student has. So depending upon that screen size, whatever their screen is, it will maximize it. As experiments have been done, we cannot change anything on this. So because this is all Girish's domain, so I can only display what he's allowing me to show. But I can definitely allow the kid to maximize. So I'll put a maximize button here, so they can maximize. So you have like a.
But maximize would mean that this particular view will get maximized.
No.
You get the whole. No, you get the whole thing.
It will maximize. It will maximize. So, but if your screen is only this big, you will still see the scroll bar no matter how much you maximize it.
Okay, yeah.
If it's something like this, like our screen is big enough, in which case you will have the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those computers which have huge screen like Amit check.
We will not determine that. The child's monitor will determine that.
But if we have a bigger monitor, you will see the thing.
Yes. So it's up to the child to buy a PC with a big monitor.
Or have a nice display and not a bad display.
No, like some of these guys, you see, Amit check out this PC.
We will take to your
movie
screen.
screen.
Computers to
So big. You can maximize, see, 2 experiments in one. It's like that.
Huh? Suvarna ka bhi hai. Suvarna ka is because she does all the design work.
Some of them have got huge ones.
So anyways, this gives you the number of videos. So in case you're
35.
and you can
Assessment, when you click here, then what do you do? Take a test. This is the one pulling it from AOL.
yes.
Okay.
You have 9 minutes for every test.
Timer they have given.
Randomly we've selected. You can have it anything. It has to be some kind of a time-driven event. I can't just have the test and the kid 10 questions takes 2 days to answer. Then I do not see the relevance. It has to be timed somehow. I don't know why we chose 9 minutes, but it's. I'm happy to change it to 1 minute or 2 minutes if you guys think 9 minutes is too much.
Oh, is it too
Sure,
short?
you cannot even read
One
one question.
question. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes is 5 minutes.
So you guys can take the
Maximum 10
assessment.
questions.
So next time you guys do the assessment, just take a look at how long it took you, and then on the average, let me know what a kid should, how long it should take a kid, and we can reset the timer to
Maths
that.
will take longer because you have to calculate.
Yeah. Maths will have different time.
It depends on subject to subject.
10 minutes, you think it's a lot of time? No.
No, because the thing is, you need to understand the question and
Read all the options.
See, when
How
you
many
finish,
questions per assessment?
When questions 9 minutes right now, it's like that way.
1 minute per
so it
question.
doesn't, I mean, it doesn't.
Less than 1 minute. Of course.
Then it's okay. I think it's okay. Because it take that much time to read it.
No, I think 10 it should be, at least for maths, it should be
10 minutes.
11.
You guys tell me. I'm not debating the point here. I'm just saying, give me input. I'll tell them, and they'll set the clock to that.
10 minutes should be okay.
But this is not any kind of, like testing their ability or anything like that. The child is just going through it to check, how much he's understood, right? So it doesn't matter the grading, you're not comparing it with anyone
No, but as
else.
he said,
It will be compared. It will be compared. in the whole report generation. There will be a comparison of people near you, people in the same standard. All that comparison will be done, especially when we give the parent the app. The parent will want to know how well the kid is doing with respect to the other kids.
Yeah.
How would you know? I mean, like whether the child is doing the first attempt or second attempt or third attempt.
It records everything. It records everything.
So
You do not know that it records, but in the background, it's recording how many times you watched the video, where you paused it, how many times you rewound it, how many times you did. It records everything. What we do with the data is up to us.
So you will have an assessment at the end.
No, I mean, like you could have a thing like, now suppose a child is going for some tuition classes and he's already done the topic and knows everything, and then just comes and checks these, and he gets everything right. And then maybe another kid who's just starting it out and just going through it, wandering through it, and then doing a test.
Yeah.
And then they both fail or both be first time, they're trying to get the first time.
Which is fine.
Like absolutely no, sending him to tuition करके तो ट्यूशन वाला सही है करके ये तो समझेगा
That's why
not being fair उसकी नहीं किया है वो पढ़ नहीं रहा है ये तो पता चलेगा.
But every time when the student sits for a board exam, some student will go there without studying, like me, and will score 60%. Some student will go for tuition and study for 3 years and score 99%. That's life.
No, that is fine. My question is like, if everyone is coming for an exam, they all prepare at various levels of preparation. So then the parent knows that they are at this stage. But if you are allowing a parent to compare the child with somebody else in that area who may be at a different level of preparation, and you're saying that both of them are first attempters and this one is doing so well.
Which is absolutely fine. The parent should have an idea of what the other kids are doing. They should not be in isolation that मेरा बच्चा पढ़ रहा है कि नहीं, बाकी सारे क्या कर रहे हैं. And you will not tell you who the kid is. You will not divulge names, but we will have general statistics
10%
that will draw out a graph and compare your kid to the rest of the kids. Of course, I want to see how well my kid is doing with the other kids. I don't care if the other kid is prepared or my kid is not prepared. I want to see how well my kid is doing with the respected. I want to see that before I bought K class plus for this kid, he's scoring 60%. अभी क्या कर रहा है? कुछ मैं 8,000 रुपए 10,000 रुपए पर साल दे रहा हूँ उसके लिए. कुछ फर्क पड़ रहा है कि नहीं मेरे को पता नहीं चाहिए ना बच्चा क्या कर रहा है. If all the other kids are doing brilliantly after reading K class plus, and my kid is still listening, there's something going on with my child. That will make the parent be a little bit more attentive to their child. I want the parent to have that access.
So to tell you where the child is. Tell you where the child is.
But Janet's a little competitive. That's too competitive. I mean, actually, children need to know a little bit of, if everything is being monitored, whether the child won't even attempt it.
He won't know when it's being monitored.
No, sooner or later.
He won't know, but only we know, because at the end of the day, maybe we have to make a
parent is going to tell the child.
We want
to like this.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to tell my child is doing bad. I'll try to समझाओ फाइल अच्छा सा टॉफी देखिए मैं तो 2 थप्पड़ मार के बोलूँगा पढ़ो और क्या है?
The problem is there, like there's too much pressure then, on the kid. The kid may not even attempt it then after that.
Then the parents will say, you've not attempted it.
Then it will make the child all the more nervous and they'll not know it at all.
वो तो anyway स्कूल में होता है ना. स्कूल में anyway तुम एग्जाम देते हो तो एग्जाम जब ठीक से नहीं करते हो तो टीचर मारता है कि नहीं तुमको?
Exactly, the exam I understand, because at that time you're expected to be at a certain level of preparation. Yeah. But this is like, I'm just exploring, I'm just reading it, I'm trying to understand it, I'm just trying to understand the whole thing. And then maybe somebody else is taking the test after being prepared, and you're grading both of them at the same level.
Yeah.
And the parent is going to say,
maybe someone just grasps faster.
Which is fine. I mean, my owner, and they're in 10th standard. I've had that kid for 16 years of its life. I know how well my child performs. It's not like मैं किसी और का बच्चा उठा के तुमको दे रहा हूँ. 16 years, you've seen your kid develop. You know how well he or she learns.
No, my point is not that. I'm not talking about slow and fast learner. I'm just talking about two kids. One was already gone through the topic, already somewhere else. And you have one kid who's trying to understand it, and So what my point is that if that child is just exploring, why should his grading be shown to anybody else?
Because their parents, they have a right to see what their child is doing.
Only parents will see.
So the parents also
They
should
probably
realize that their child
I think
How can I say
not
yeah.
prepared for this.
Okay. You get your eyes as parents get a graph of showing the level of your
Of my child. Of my child. Fine. And that's good.
And I'm showing the average
And the
performance
average
of other
performance
children.
of 25 children.
I want to know now.
Their level is at 90. My child
Can't
is
we
40.
have it like this is
Hello.
Yeah.
Because I'm
And one point where they're just exploring, trying to understand, see whether they've understood this concept and doing this thing. You can have a next level where you have the tests. So the testing, like if I feel confident enough to do a test, then you compare.
So we have practice, right? हमारा क्या है?
Practice. We are adding one new feature.
So I think that thing can be graded and shown to the whole area. Then you compare.
So there's a practice thing that we've got
What is that?
in the works.
That shows.
It will be another tab beside the test. So what will it does, like once he clicks the tab, the test will open and he only knows the correct and wrong answers.
Okay.
There is no grading.
No grading. So I think
Right and wrong, it gets marks.
that is where, because then he has already gone through this and he already feels competent to a certain extent, and then he's taking a practice.
So we
test.
have that. We have the practice.
So that I think can be shared in the locality. You can say that
Area.
okay, I did the practice test. That person did the
You
practice
don't understand. I'm not sharing individuals thing. I'm not saying Anush has got this score.
I'm just saying that as a parent, the parent thinks that that kid has done so well. I mean, some kid has done so well.
It will be averaged out. It will be averaged out across children.
But they will know that
Some
50%,
kids-
50%
No, but
have
it's
done
the
it.
average.
ये बात है ना.
Out of 100 students, okay, 60 have scored 60. My kid has scored 60. And 40 has scored 100. So obviously the average is going to be low.
But
And he, yeah, 60 and 40. 60 are scoring 60, 40 are scoring 100. So average is
that
going to be low.
100 will not, 100 will go low, but 60 will go up.
Yeah, so the average will be
80,
80 or
So
70
or
or
60.
So he is below average. He is below average.
He's near the average.
There's
He's not
absolutely
below,
no-
he's not at
nothing wrong with showing that
So,
way.
yeah, so he's not giving the personal records.
I think that's
Obviously,
okay.
he's gonna
That's okay.
correlate some- That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, because I
Because
I
I-
Before so many people answer so many
Everybody is
so
not
many
giving 100. He's not giving
It's just
personal records.
percentage given. There's no worry.
That is
Still, it doesn't justify the level of preparation of parents.
Right, you can't justify. Anyhow, you can't justify.
So why can't we have it like when you're doing if I have done the lesson, then I'm ready to take a practice test. Then I know that I am prepared for the thing and I'm prepared to take the test.
Okay.
And then compare me with the others.
But how will you
How will you know that you have not read it somewhere else and come and learn?
I'm also prepared for it. I also feel that I'm prepared for it and I'm taking the test. So it's not like I'm just exploring the chapter and I'm just going through it, one by one just to see that.
Okay.
See, I could be, when I open the chapter, and there is this click on assessment. So I just click it. I haven't read the chapter at all, I know nothing about it. Just like how you did. You got 3 out of 10. Because you've not done nothing of it.
Right.
So why should that be compared with any other kid? Why?
Why not? Why not is my question to you. I need a good answer. Why not? You're not doing
But
it.
I feel that parents get too competitive. When you're dealing with
Which
children.
is great.
Okay, it's.
I mean,
that
Delhi University has a cutoff of 99.6% this year. If you want a kid to get into a good college, they've got to score like crazy.
It's not going to be that you want your kid to get in, It is not the parent that decide that the kid has to get in. The kid has to want to get in. The kid has to, be.
That's not the case. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I look at capitation fees. The parents start jamifying lakhs and lakhs to get their kid into medical school, not because the kid wants to go become a doctor. It's the parents want to become a doctor. That's a reality. Then the ground reality is different. In an ideal condition, yeah, sure. But then we are very far from
I'm
ideal.
just saying like this that she is not in read the chapter, she sits doing the assessment, she has 1 out of 10.
That's fine. So
The teacher on the other hand has studied beforehand and she opens this thing and then she does the assessment, gets 10 out of 10.
Okay,
And it's not fair comparing with
But how will you decide?
absolutely fair. It is absolutely fair. What is wrong with that?
Why
Then you study more. You do it again. Monday saying anything about Kannada. You go back and take another test.
No, why can't we
Take
have
another-
this comparison only when they do the practice test? You know, when they come to the practice test level, at that time we do this comparison.
No, I'll do the comparison for everything. I'll say, practice test. Everybody did this well in the practice, everybody did this well in the final. Everybody saw this video 10 times, your kids saw it once. Everybody, I want that thing to be there. I want the kid, the
It is
parent.
another way of looking also. When I might attempt first attempt and I get good marks, I might attempt 7 attempts and get good marks. The point is, teachers and parents always have that you're not practicing enough.
Huh.
So this is my practice, isn't it?
So it will give you a history of assessments. So you can see that first time I scored 3 out of 10. Next time I tried the assessment again, I scored 6 out of 10.
It's a way I
So next time I tried it, I got 10 out of 10.
again. Other to practice
I
again.
did tic-tac-toe first time and I was unlucky. The second time I did tic-tac-toe, this time I got lucky. The third time I did tic-tac-toe, I got
But still how is it? Mentor बाद में he gives his own test, right?
MCQs. So we'll get to that. Okay. So what you can do is that you can ask new questions, or you can see there are questions.
Family of salts and then there is domestic electrical and why too?
Because these are questions that the child has asked.
Okay.
The child can ask any question, right?
Okay, he asks here.
So let me just tell you how it works. So when you click on this icon, which is basically your chat with mentors icon,
Yeah.
you will get the questions that you've asked that have not been answered so
Okay.
far.
Okay.
You will get a list of questions that are ongoing. So this is something where you've asked a question, mentor has answered, and it's maybe you're cleared, maybe they're not cleared, whatever, but it's an ongoing thing. Here you have all the questions that have been resolved. This is your history of questions that you asked and doubts. So the student must have the ability to go back and say, when it was the question pucha tha, he said something I really understood, but now I've forgotten. So you should be able to go back and recollect what that meant, and recollect what the notes they gave and things like that, and go through it and be able to practice. I mean, go over what the mentor say.
Only thing is resolved. Resolution is of an issue, isn't it?
No, so there's a whole process. I mean, just once I started the mentor.
I was just talking about the title because question the answer hota hai.
And the mentor might say it's resolved. The student has the ability to say no, it's not resolved, and then it goes to a needs attention time.
I'm going by the title. Resolved. I'm not saying
Resolved as in like the query, the question has been resolved.
Answered by the
question is
mentor.
already answered. But if
So
I
it's an issue that's been resolved. It's an issue that I have with electromagnetism. I don't understand this. Can you explain to me better? मेरे को ये text समझ में आया या वो video क्या बोल रहा खाना क्या में उसका English समझ में नहीं आया कुछ नहीं थी. So has the issue been resolved or not?
So question की जगह issue होना चाहिए, new question की जगह new issue होना चाहिए. No,
No,
it is a question.
So
Student asking a question.
we found that it was the most appropriate thing here.
And once mentor thinks it is resolved or not, so he just raise the flag resolved. So that question is what?
Answer and simply asking a question.
No, just
issue and
the title. The title they want.
This is not the issue is resolved. Question is not resolved. Answered.
If I have a majority of people saying that yes, they want to change the title, I'll change it. So then right now it's this is where it's at.
Yes.
That's what it means. It's not just
Issue
an
then. Then it shouldn't be a question. It should be
It is a question.
It's not the issue that the student asks. The student asks the question.
He asked me, I don't understand
The
this.
answer.
Tell me the
Understand the answer. Is he understand? Did he understand the answer? Is he
My problem is resolved.
Yeah.
That is it. He had a problem with that question.
So
he asked the
question
question.
problem people are talking. No, it has to be question.
It has to be question, and he's asking a question. He's not asking a problem, he's asking a question. And he's basically,
When somebody asks you a question, what do you do?
answer, this is not English language, so resolve is okay.
Answer.
Resolve is okay.
So you can ask a new question.
Yeah.
It picks up the chapter.
I asked some here, what is the formula for that one board?
No, one of the question.
So
Query a question. To ask your query.
you can then
Can you
send this
question
to. What happens is that this gets sent to a mentor.
Mentor, yeah.
The who it gets sent to is decided by the system. Right now, when a mentor actually goes and registers themselves with us as a mentor, they get to fill up their qualifications, they get to fill up their educational credentials, and they get to fill up what they think they're qualified to answer. So they might say, standard 1 through 6 I can answer any doubt. Then 7 through 12 only math. So the system will log that in, and then it will balance it across the mentors. So there's an even number of questions that's given to every. So it will spread it across all those people with that result. The student has the ability to grade the answer given by any mentor. So the student can always pick up a question. So you can see that my question has just come up here as a new question. And this will get assigned automatically to a mentor. I'm just going to pick up one of the ongoing things. Right? So this is something that's ongoing with the student. And this is something that the mentor has said it's been resolved.
Yeah.
Now I have the ability to re-escalate this question as a student said, mentor said this is the explanation, I still don't understand what they're talking about.
He said, does this information resolve the query? Did this resolve the query? Not resolves.
Resolved.
Resolve. It should be S.
Remove the S, singular. Resolve the query.
So he says yes, right?
So then it becomes resolved.
And then says no, then what happens?
Then it goes back into ongoing and it sends the new tile to the mentor. I'll show you that tile. And the red color tile that comes up saying needs attention.
Okay, sure.
Right?
And also, this attachment thing, what can you attach? Like a Word doc image?
Right now we are looking at only images because of the fact that we do not have MathML integrated into this. So if a teacher wants to derive a mathematical solution, there's no way for them to write integral limits n is equal to 1 to infinity x squared dx and then solve that out. Right? So then at least a person can take a picture and attach it. So right now it's not the best of solutions, but as we kind of go down our development path, we'll integrate the ability for people to use. So I'm not sure you guys have seen. It's something called Google Ink.
Yeah.
So if you've seen this, right? So what I can say is I can say x squared and so it will recognize handwriting. So at some point in time we integrate things in this so the tuition teacher can quickly write and it converts it to math and converts it to physics formulas and chemistry, CH3OH whole twice and whatever.
Then it becomes an image. It becomes an image in
No,
this
it becomes actual text.
Text in that. And then how do you put it in this?
We integrate this to that. So you can actually do it.
Okay.
So if the professor or the guy has a stylus or a pen and he's writing it, you can write it.
I was just asking because suppose if I'm a student and I have some document, maybe it's a Word doc or an Excel, and there is some information written on it which I cannot make sense of, and I need to ask the teacher what it is. Instead of typing out all that is written, can I just attach that document and send it? Like, I cannot understand what this is.
It can happen.
I might read some PDF, I might read some Word doc, and I don't understand any hell out of it. I need to ask. I cannot be typing the whole page.
Right now it's not there. Right now only attachments are JPEGs. Because then it's easy for me to track. Because then if the teacher edits that document, then there'll be some idiot who sends a selfie of themselves in the most inappropriate context, and I have to worry about how do I curtail stuff like this. Because with every 1,000 mentors, there'll be one character who's not really a good guy. So by the time we beat him out of the system, how do I minimize the damage they cause? Okay. So I'm trying to, I know that even JPEG's a whole thing about, yeah, he could take an image of himself, send it to some kid, and but it's there's easier. A JPEG you cannot edit that easily. Yes, you can take it into Photoshop and work on the crazy stuff with it, but then somebody is going to do that with a JPEG, can do anything. Word document is just easier to type in something.
PDFs maybe.
So PDFs, again, a non-editable PDF is a good thing, because then we have a record of this document was sent in this format.
And you can also have it like how we have in WhatsApp, the send folder and the receive folder. When you go to the file manager, you exactly know what you have sent.
It's all in the cloud. So I'll show you how that gets organized. So let's kind of switch to the mentor edition right now, because it's easy to mentor. Give me 1 second. It just needs to refresh. Control F5. So depending on the network connection. So each of this is a tile. Okay. Each of this represents a question that has been asked by a student. They're color coded, so you can easily sort them. You can stack all the new ones. You can stack all the unanswered ones. You can also have the ability where a mentor can look at a question and say, I have no idea how to solve this, and refer it to another mentor. So a mentor can do a referral. If you're sick, you might want to hit the I'm sick, do not send it to me. The app can do that. If you go on vacation for 1 week, you don't want 200 questions to pile up, and the students are saying, hey, thumbs down to this guy, because remember, the students can rate thumbs up and thumbs on every mentor, every question that's been answered, right? So the mentor can say, hey, I'm on vacation, just forward my thing. Then this system understands where, because you already know the student, the standard, the text, what is it, whether it's science or math, and which chapter, and subtopic where the question was asked, and the first line of the query. Okay. All that comes in a tile. And right now the students have not uploaded pictures, but then you can have pictures of students, or the student can leave it anonymous. It's up to them. Right? When the mentor can create notes. So just like hard what we have in K class, mentors in physics know, अरे यार thermodynamics किसी को समझ में नहीं आता. Every kid stumbles on this. So let me make a whole bunch of notes and store them in my free time.
Where will he keep those notes?
It's all in the cloud.
Yeah, but how would the student know my mentors give me notes?
I will explain everything out to you. That's what the demo is here for. To that. So the mentor can create notes, can add folders, can make it as complicated as they want, or keep all their notes in one root folder. It's up to them. We allow the mentor to organize how they want to store their notes. If they don't want to keep any notes at all, that's also fine. Yeah. So the mentor can create folders of chapter 1, chapter 2 science, call it chapter 1, call it thermodynamics. We allow them to do any labeling. This is just like how you create in C codel. You can create your own subdirectory structure. The mentors can create their own subdirectory structure and store their notes. This can be done in an offline.
But that would be.
Sorry?
What's that sound?
What's that sound?
From there is ringing.
A mentor storing the notes would be if they're conducting a tuition class. Just to answer question, why would he put his notes there? What does he gain on that?
Because let us say the same question is being asked over and over again by 300 students to you. Would you want to type out the same reply over and over again?
Yeah, but then that would still be.
That's okay, then why don't store any notes? I'm not forcing you to store notes, I'm just giving you the ability to make notes and store them if you want. And then when a kid asks a question, you can send them that note.
That note that I'm making, suppose it's for a particular question and if 10 students are asked. Individually, I have to send each child those notes, or I put them in a place where he can just access.
You cannot put them in a place. No. Because first of all, the question has to come to you.
Yeah, so 10 children ask me the same question.
Yes.
Some different places.
You can send
them make my individual, every child else in my notes.
At least what you can do is you can go select the note and then you can send it to a child.
Okay.
Right. You can also, what you can do is that you can you can create more notes. Obviously, you can put a title. You can attach a picture. If there's an equation or something like that you want to attach, you can attach it and you can create your note and you can save it and move it around, create whatever subfolder structure. Or you don't have to use this feature. We give you the ability to use it.
When you save it, where does it go?
In the My Notes.
Okay.
Right. And then in the My Notes section, they can go and then I just created some junk note here.
Yeah, so you take it and give it to any student.
So you can, and then I'll show you how to give it to the students.
Yeah.
Also, you can create questions. You can create MCQs.
Yeah.
Now, this part of the cloud is encrypted with the mentor's password that they set. So even IETS cannot access that because it's the mentor's intellectual property and we should respect it. Right? So, and they choose their own password, right? When they claim so, that password will be used to encrypt their portion of the cloud. So mentors cannot see other mentors' notes. They have access to their own area, it will decrypt it. If they want to send it to students, what are the students going to do with it? But since I'm an IIT professor and I'm being blah blah, got a Nobel Prize, and I want to keep my intellectual property very secure, you have the ability to do it. And even as the ILFS, we cannot access that area because that is their thing. So you can create questions. So I have some junk question to create. So I can go and then. So I can have a question here where I have the, and again you can attach things. So you can have your whole MCQ written out. You can give.
These are the options.
Yeah. And then if I want to give an explanation, I can. And then I can tell the system what the correct answer is.
How do I tell them? How do I write?
Right there.
Just stick it like that and say.
So now,
so the system knows that is the right answer.
Yes. So when the student attempts it, it will know how to tell the student what the right answer is, what the wrong one. Because the mentor is already given the solution.
Okay.
Right? So the mentor
can have these 4 options. You have to have 4
Only
options.
subjects you have.
No, you can have 3. All MCQs come with 4 options, so by default I gave 4.
Normally they come with 4.
But like sometimes you can just
Leave black and
keep it blank.
absolutely.
Binary options. Either this
None of the above.
We have to fill
You
out.
have to fill.
None of the above. None of the options rotate. All of the options stay there.
Options.
Rotate to फिर none of the above नहीं बोल सकते.
So my question is, again I can create subdirectory structures for my questions and create everything is encrypted with my password. So only a mentor can log on and then the app is available in there. So because a mentor may not be a full-time mentor, right? They could have a day job. So let's say this guy works at TCS or Infosys and at lunch he says, let me make a couple of questions because I'm finding that most of the kids stumbling in this particular area and I'm the physics mentor and every kid will have so मैं question बना के रखता note बना के रखता मेरे को time save हो जाएगा. So when the kid asks, I don't have to type the damn thing out. I can just send the kid the note. Right? So you can create your whole questions, store them in your subdirectories, and let's say you've got a new question. When you click on a new question, couple of things happen. First of all, you get the question here. You still refresh, control zero. So when they do the development and I have not refreshed it, then I look at them and refresh, refresh. So depending again on your network connection, it will all get slowly populated.
Question about when we gave the assessment, whenever you want to have one question always on that position, it was specially set. So
that is my time.
The code will always be you're talking here. You do the same functionality. So you can realize that.
So there is my little version of the tile here. So I have where the student was when they asked this question.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is just some junk.
So we write the answer here.
Right? So now you can do things. You can share a question with the student. You can share a note with the student.
Okay.
So let's say I want to share my notes. So I go to my notes and I say I want to share this thing.
Share.
So that note gets sent to the student. I will log on and show you. And now it's changed from green, which is new question, to ongoing, because there is some discussion. There's some
you wrote share, and it automatically went to the student. Why it could have gone to some other student too? No,
because this is the student whose query I opened. I opened a query of that particular student. I'm on this particular tile. I clicked on that tile to get into this.
Okay. And then you have to share my notes.
And then you can share, if you want, you can also share a question.
Share. And it come here.
Right?
Okay.
So and I'll log on as student 13 and I'll show you how it comes when student 13 gets this.
Related question. If 2 or 3 of my students have asked me the same question, a similar question, then I need to answer them the same time. Can I share my notes and then select like all of them together? So then it's gone to all of them.
No, because you don't have, your student pool is not static. It's not like you're taking tuition class, so ye aayega hi aayega. Iska jo question hota hai, it could be going to some mentor in Mizoram or somebody in Kerala, you don't know.
No, but if the questions have already been received, if I already see that this particular student, this other student, like 3 or 4 students have already asked me the same question, and I have to answer them the same thing. Then
you just take the student and then go and just share it one by one.
So we go to each one individually.
Each time, because the reason why is that some students might have further questions, some might get resolved with that one, some may not get resolved, you might have to share multiple times with them. So it's easier for me to do the individual thing. Otherwise, what happens is that the mentors will get too robotic and then they'll have 100 million notes and 100 million questions. And wo paise kamane ke liye isme bechte jayenge. Because if I say, I mean, the whole question of how do we pay the mentor, so I'll tell you why I'm not doing that. Right?
You just make it as a note and then share the note with whoever.
So you just click on it, because also the question might have been asked in different contexts.
Yeah.
Right? So I do not know what the context is unless I open it up. And this is my student's screen when he asked that question. So when this particular question was asked, he was here. So then the teacher knows or the mentor knows, acha ye padha tha, now this question was. I'll answer it this way to the student.
And another guy may ask it from another part of the chapter, then you have to answer it differently. Yeah.
It depends, right? The mentor will decide, because we are assuming that the mentor knows more than the student. So the mentor will decide what's the right way of doing it, right? So you can say you can now refer this question to other mentors on the network. The system will automatically refer it. You can label things as ongoing, or you can label things as resolved. Ki haan, ye resolved ho gaya. The student gets a chance to veto that thing. Mentor might have said resolve ho gaya, mera resolve nahi hoga. Give me more answers, give me more explanation. I'm not satisfied with your thing. Right? So the student has the ability to veto that.
And then it goes
So-
back to the same mentor.
It goes back to the same mentor,
And
yes.
suppose that it's not satisfying to the student at all. You know, whatever the mentor
Then they'll
is
rate it-
satisfied,
Then they'll rate it thumbs down.
Thumbs down the mentor.
And then they can ask another mentor the same question.
But then you said that the system sends it to the mentor. That's not. So how would they refer to another mentor? Already the question has been sent to one person.
Right. They can send the question again. The question will then go to another mentor randomly. Assuming you have hundreds of mentors and tens of thousands of children using this.
But is there any way that the student can say that I'm not happy with this one, so I have to send to somebody else?
No, they can rate it on a thumbs down basis. What happens is that it's not like the Ola cab service, right?
Whoever is in the vicinity.
So if you get a rating of below so and so, your rating drops on this, drivers are called back and they're given a 2-week orientation.
Okay.
That's how Ola and Uber work. That's why the Ola drivers are rating well, because their rating drops below certain, they're called back and then Ola will refuse to.
Passenger register.
Yes. Right? So in this case, the mentor rates the student rates the mentor. So we have the ability to have that self-correction in place. Because ILFS, ITS should not be saying, "Ye acha, wo acha nahi hai, tumne answer kar."
I have given a thumbs down to a particular mentor. At least my next question is it sure it will not go to that same person? It can go to anyone else, like just about anyone else, but not that. If he's not able to answer to my satisfaction, there is no point asking the same question over and over again.
We can do that.
Send it to anyone else, but not him.
If a child
We
plays
can have
friends,
that list being the same. Right now it's a random selection. We can do a random selection of n-1 where we minus the mentor from the list.
but children can play pranks also. So that's another thing.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to
a challenge.
have fun, you know. Let's
So the thing is that, but then I'm assuming that most of the children will not be of that category.
Yeah.
There will be some bad mentors, there will be some bad kids.
Yeah.
But they get consistently rated thumbs down by the mentors, the bad mentors will get consistently rated thumbs down by the kids, and the system will beat them off.
Even and yeah.
So I'd rather have the system beat them off than us going and stepping in, because if this software takes off and 5 million kids have it, you will have to have like a building the size of a call center to just answer calls and questions and queries. Ki, "Are you mentor ठीक से answer नहीं कर रहा है मेरे को who they call? I'm yours, right?" So I want to have the mechanism where it's self-correcting in nature and have the system kind of sort stuff out. Because if we put in a human being into the loop, then immediately that human being will become 2, will become 5, will become 100, and so we have an army of people answering phone calls. And so I'm trying to avoid that scenario.
And that mentor might not be really a bad mentor, but maybe their way of explanation doesn't
And the
apply.
thing,
I don't
not
understand.
carrying
So
with the
Girish
children.
Pathak, for example, he might be a brilliant fellow, but what comes out is not. 99% of people don't understand what comes out is not. But so those kind of people will either drop out of the system because they're not,
Or they're bad.
or they will change their attitude, or they'll change their ability to communicate. But one of those two will happen. So I want the system to kind of auto-correct those kind of situations and have the student have a say in it. Because then the student feels that it's not just some computer generating an answer for me. It's an actual human being who's sitting there doing this. Yeah. So you can see that that question 13, this was a thing, it's now become ongoing. You can have
That topic name that you put there, solution of quadratic
Equation by factors.
How is that populated?
that comes from you guys.
No, but then it's, like some of them just first line page 24. I mean, like, you have to have some way of.
Where's first line page?
See the second question. Yeah. So there has to be some way in which that has to be checked or QC or something like that.
So this basically comes from we have to log in a student 13, right? Oh God, I have to say damn this.
This was a sound. The ting sound was the messages coming.
Class manager.
Yeah. Student 13. Let me just log back in and show you how the MCQ and the notes come across.
I think you need to take from the textbook and not from our list. You know, that topic name should be taken from the textbook and not from our list.
Where are we taking it from right now?
Actually, they mapped given the Excel sheet and we are just uploaded.
No,
It's not that.
no,
That's
no,
not
no.
the way.
Topic, if you are referring to the textbook, what is the textbook? That one, that you should give. So our topics are.
The textbook is there. The text,
Yeah,
everything
but
is there. Why? Here's my list. That says which student, that says which standard, that says which text,
No,
that says which chapter, this says which subtopic. The subtopic is from.
Yeah, but the subtopic needs to be taken
From the textbook, that's what you are saying, not from the mapping sheet.
Our mapping sheet, because our mapping sheet is made to suit the K-class
K-class
content to it.
So we cannot take it from the text.
No.
Somebody have to give it to us. Because they will not know which topic to take
How
and
would
which
we
topic
know
not.
what the student is doing? So the textbook has got all the topics listed. So
Right.
that you have to take from there.
Someone just needs to like copy and write it.
If a student is asked a particular
Because you should
question,
take it from a
that-
textbook. The student, that page of the textbook will come.
uh,
So that thing has to be picked up.
that topic has subtopic.
But we cannot read that particular thing from our side. We have to incorporate that thing into a database. We are querying that on a database and we are fetching that data and just binding.
Then you have to
But
do
instead of taking it from where you take it from our Excel sheet, you will have to make a list of these topics from the textbook. Make an Excel sheet of that and then match it.
We will just update those.
So each chapter
And
is
subtopic.
each subtopic.
But you
2.3, 2.1, 2.2, like that.
So it's very clearly written. You just have to like see
We
it
have
like
to
it.
get the proper clean data.
Yes. Yeah.
So you enroll your help in doing that.
Just in the textbook, just someone just needs to
That's
type it
what
out.
the textbook and should be a textbook.
You just need to,
Which chapter was this? Language is a chapter, no? What is that? Electricity. I okay.
Any
I take this again.
So cut and paste from that.
Yes.
It's like this. This is the text, the chapter name, and this is the topic. So it should actually be one.
Yeah.
Hyphen and this will be none. So one
They
page
are in bold. The top, the subtopics are all in bold.
So in one page there might be two topics there.
Yeah. Why not? There is
But there is उठाएगा तो कैसे उठाएगा? एक पेज आपको पेज बता रहा है ना? पेज पे दो टॉपिक हैं.
You will have the chapter, you will have 2.1, point
Yeah.
1.1.2.
This is 1.1.1, 1.2. Two topics on the same page. The number given is different. Just each number.
पेज ले लो किसे एरिया ले लो क्या लेंगे?
We look directly database create किए. ये ऐसे